Top Republicans want to know why emails were deleted from Hillary Clinton's private server after an order was given to turn those emails over. Now, there are several witnesses, including the man who infamously destroyed some of Clinton's phones with a hammer, called to testify tomorrow morning. Trey Gowdy says there was a lot for which they need to answer.
She had her lawyers, not government lawyers. Not government, her lawyers went through and decided what you can see and what you cannot see. And even then, they missed about 15,000. And at the end of all of that, they decided to apply a product called bleach bit. Not the delete button, but a hammer and bleach bit to what they claim are yoga emails. It doesn't pass the laugh test.
So Jason Chaffetz, chairman of the House Oversight Reform Committee, with me now. And sir, good morning to you and welcome back to America's Newsroom. Who's going to show? I saw your list. I think there were 5 on there. Who shows up?
There are 5. Well, we expect them to all show up. We have enlisted the United States Marshals to help deliver 3 subpoenas. We expect them to show up tomorrow morning. Evidently, according to some news reports, 2 of them have been granted immunity by the FBI, so I'd expect them to sing like songbirds. I don't know that they will, but they should. They've gotten immunity. Why not come and testify and tell the whole truth?
What do you want to know?
Well, this is one of the largest breaches of security in the history of the State Department. We have literally tens of thousands of federal records that are still in question. Some of them are so sensitive in their nature, so classified that they will, people can die if people were to read this, the adversaries. So we want to know why, after preservation orders, after subpoena, these documents were destroyed and who directed them. Trey Gowdy talks about the trigger man that actually did use the bleach bit and smashing Blackberries, but these are more privates, low-level folks who took direction from somebody. I don't think they just made that up and decided one day, hey, let's go ahead and do this. But they did speak with Cheryl Mills. They did speak with David Kendall, and we'd like to have them tell us who directed the destruction of these federal records.
To be clear, the timeline, March of 2015, right? So we're going back a year and a half, correct?
Yeah.
And there was a preservation order that went out from Congress, and it was after that order was released in the same month that all the emails were deleted. Is that correct?
Well, you can't destroy federal records, period, but more than roughly 2 years after Hillary Clinton leaves office, suddenly there is another preservation order. There's a subpoena. There's a statement by Hillary Clinton, I believe on March 10th, saying that she had preserved everything, and then suddenly you had this conference call between Clinton attorneys and Platte River Networks, and then less than a week later, this stuff is destroyed. And so you can't destroy stuff that's under a subpoena. You just can't do that.
Now, I guess they could take the 5th, right? Even if they have immunity, right? I mean, they don't have to answer your questions.
It is their constitutional right, but given that they have immunity, at least 2 of them evidently, I would expect them to tell us everything, but we'll see.
Elijah Cummings on that committee, Democrat, said the following: "This is the first time during my 20 years in Congress that I have witnessed the oversight power of this committee used in such a transparently political manner to directly influence a presidential election." And you say?
I didn't pick this timeline. Hillary Clinton picked this timeline, and shame on us if we don't follow up on the destruction of federal records. She's the one that did this, not me. It was the Inspector General that gave the criminal referral to the FBI, and it was the FBI director who said he never looked at what Hillary Clinton said under testimony. And I also, we'll enter into the record a CRS report, a Congressional Research Service report, and some letters from Democrats who did the exact same thing when it was Republicans they were going after. So Elijah Cummings' memory, he's a good man. I really like him, but memory's a little short on that one.
Do you still trust the FBI director? Do you have confidence in James Comey?
Well, I appreciate the documents that he's given us, but tonight we have a hearing because they've only released to the public the selected sum of the unclassified documents. Why aren't all the unclassified documents out there at some point? They won't even let Congress see the unclassified report at this point. So Mr. Comey has been the one person who spent hours before a committee answering questions, but when he says, and I believe him at his word, they never looked at Hillary Clinton's testimony under oath, we in the House of Representatives have got to stand up for ourselves and do our own investigation. That's what is checks and balances. That is what oversight is. So we'll march on.
Well, I did not hear a yes or no in your answer there. It seemed like a maybe, or you're in some sort of gray territory.
Well, we're the oversight committee. You trust but verify. And so I don't believe he's acting necessarily in a political way. I want to see everything that those FBI agents came up with. I want to see if they did issue subpoenas. Did they record any of these things? Did they use all the tools that they have at the FBI to truly get to the bottom of this? But we also have a duty as a separate branch of government to do our own investigation. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
One final question. Is there an update you can give our viewers today on the investigation of the possibility of perjury when Hillary Clinton appeared in 2015?
Well, we have asked the Department of Justice to dive into this, but as we gather all the facts, we're going to see where those facts take us. And so this is part of that process. We're going to have a series of hearings of this, regardless of the presidential election. I shouldn't go any faster and I shouldn't go any slower because we have a presidential election. I have a duty and a responsibility. And did she or did she not lie under oath? There's a lot of evidence already that says, yes, she did lie under oath. I mean, my concern with Hillary Clinton is she continues to look into the camera, even when she raises her right hand and swears to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and lies. And that's a deep concern.
You're saying you believe she lied under oath?
Yeah, I think clearly. I mean, you just look at her individual statements. We even asked, Trey Gowdy asked the FBI director, quoted those items, and he said, no, that wasn't true. Now, we want the Department of Justice to look at it. We're going to look at all of the people, the destruction of the evidence, the destruction of the BlackBerries, the destruction of these laptops. I mean, somebody put a laptop in the mail, and they don't know where it is? I mean, come on. This is not a three-ring circus that they're putting it out to be.
I'm out of time today. Thank you for yours. 10 a.m. hearing tomorrow
Thanks, Bill.
Eastern Time. Thank you. Jason Chaffetz there live on the Hill. Thanks.